I'm Joshua Bulger, and this is my wife, Iliana, and we're from Visalia, California. One day we're at church, and we're just dancing, having a good time, and I felt something snap, and I'd torn my meniscus, and so in California, to have that surgery, it was like $12,000 just to have the surgery. It didn't cover the anesthesiologist or the surgery center or anything like that, and so we knew we needed, we needed a miracle, and so we knew that we needed to sow a seed.
Yeah, and Tuesday morning, I called my secretary and I said, I need a $1,000 check. So I need a $1,000 check ready to go. I said, we need to sow a significant seed. On Wednesday, I'm in my bedroom, and I hear him just praising the Lord and crying. And it was a happy cry. I knew it wasn't one of those, like, something bad happened. I just knew something good had happened.
I had a friend that just told me, he said, hey, contact that surgery center. He goes, you don't need to pray no more. He said, I'm sending you a check for $10,000. He said, go and have that surgery.
We just knew God told us to do it. And before we even got it in the ground, the seed had already produced itself. And that's been happening a lot. It's not something that, it's just this one time. It's something that keeps happening. We purpose something in our heart to do for God, and the harvest comes. Because of him having to be out of the pulpit for a while, our attendance fluctuated. And because of our attendance, the income fluctuated for the church. Things were getting paid, but things were being late. And we don't have any debt in our ministry, so it's just operating expenses. So I've been believing the Lord and just been believing the Lord. And December 22nd came up, and I spoke to our financial secretary at the office. I said, we need $12,000. I said, to show up today. I said, and it needs to be cash. And she said, well, why does it need to be cash? I said, that money needs to go into our church account in cash. I said, because if it goes in as a check, they might want to hold it. And I said, and it's Saturday, Monday's Christmas. We won't be able to do the things that we have to do by tomorrow. And she said, okay. So we prayed. I walked inside at 12:30, an hour later. I get a phone call from her, and she's screaming. A lady in the church had gotten a check from a huge settlement, and she wanted, because of the way that the check was drawn, this is totally God too, because of the way the check was drawn, she was able to go into the bank that it was drawn off of and cash this large check to be able to sow, because they wanted to sow $13,000, and they wanted their seed in the ground, and she wanted to go to the office to get it recorded that it was in the bank before, I think it was in our bank account by 9:30. The bank's opened at 9. Well, what blesses me the most is that check had to come in the mail. And so that was already in the mail before. At 11:30, I'm sitting there going, okay, Lord.
You know our need.
You know what needs to happen, and we need to go into this next year right. And so, just God has been doing things like that over and over again. And January 2nd, my husband and I were going to go to Australia to drop our daughter off. She's doing missions work there at a church. And, in the back of your head, the enemy comes. And to tell you, well, you're leaving January 2nd. What if there's lack? You're the pastors. You need to be here. All these thoughts were coming to my mind. And I said, Lord, you need to take care of this, because I can't leave to Australia to spend this quality last 2 weeks with my daughter. We're sowing her into another ministry, to spend these weeks with my daughter thinking about what's happening at home. So I'm sitting there at 8:35, and I get a phone call from my secretary at home. And then she said, I sent you balances and everything. And I said, okay. So I had a choice, either check the balances, check what's going on now, or wait for 17 hours, And I thought, well, I might as well know now. So I look, and everything's paid. By January 2nd, everything is taken care of. Everything is paid. And God is just doing things like that over and over again.
Our partnership with KCM has taught us how to, on purpose, enjoy a good life and not only be blessed, but to be put into a position to truly be a blessing to others. And we're just grateful for it. It'll work for anybody.
Yeah.
It'll work for anybody.